"Peter, some woman called you. Is there anything you want to tell me?" Angela asked her unsuspecting husband when he returned home from work. "I don't understand what you're saying. Maybe someone just got the wrong number," the man replied. The woman breathed a sigh of relief, although she guessed that her husband was not completely honest with her. The thing was, he'd been acting weird for the last month. He was often late from work and put a password on his phone. Besides, he was very cold and aloof. Angela and Peter had been married for many years, and they had a daughter, Sandra, who just turned 8. Of course, during this time, they had quarrels, but they always knew how to negotiate. All the woman's friends said that perhaps Peter had an affair, but Angela refused to believe it. She needed hard evidence of his infidelity, so she started checking his phone. However, it turned out that Peter was deleting his call and message history. To find out who her husband communicates with, she asked her friend who worked for a mobile operator company to get a printout of calls and messages. After receiving the information, Angela dialed the number that was repeated most often. The woman answered her. They agreed to meet, and the stranger invited Angela to her home. When Angela arrived at the right address and rang the doorbell, a woman in a wheelchair opened it. She was a little older than Angela and didn't look her best. "What relationship do you have with my husband?" Angela asked in a trembling voice. "Well, first of all, my name is Lily. Peter and I love each other and want to be together. Besides, I am pregnant. Don't pay attention to the wheelchair. This is a minor injury. I just fell down the stairs," the woman answered. Angela didn't know what to say. She said goodbye and went home, although she could barely stand on her feet. When her husband came home, she began a conversation with him. "Why didn't you tell me that you have another family?" she asked Peter. "Yes, I love another woman. I'm a man. I can do whatever I want," he answered. "What about Sandra?" Angela said with tears. "She will understand everything when she grows up," the man replied and went to pack his things. Angela was crying all night. Now all her days were filled with tears and suffering. However, after 3 months, she gradually began to recover. It was at this time that Angela discovered she was pregnant. She didn't know what to do, so she decided to tell her ex-husband about everything. However, Peter said that he was not going to help her with the baby. Moreover, he wasn't sure that this was his child. It was a big blow for the woman. When she arrived home, she immediately threw away all the photos and things that Peter did not pick up. She decided that she had enough strength to cope with all the problems herself. A few months later, Angela gave birth to a baby boy, whom she named Mark. A year later, when she and her son were returning home from a walk, she saw a familiar figure in front of her house. "Peter, what are you doing here?" she asked her ex-husband. "We need to talk. I'm ready to come home," the man replied. "I'm sorry, but I'm not ready for this," the woman answered indifferently, went home and closed the door in front of Peter's face. As she learned later from some people, Lily had deceived Peter. She was pregnant by another man, who showed up immediately after the baby had been born and demanded his parental rights. Realizing that no one needed him anymore, Peter left the city, where he managed to do a lot of trouble.